Marriage ceremonies, sacred unions and social bonds. The sacred matchmaker. In the ceremonial quarters of Tenochtitlan, where marriage arrangements bound families together across generations and sacred wedding rituals transformed individual lives into unified households, serving both divine purposes and social stability, Itzel Xochiquetzal, the most respected marriage coordinator in the empire, consulted the sacred calendar to determine auspicious dates for 3 upcoming wedding ceremonies, while understanding that authentic spiritual harmony required not merely romantic attraction, but systematic sacred preparation that could unite couples through proper religious observance, family negotiation, and community celebration, creating bonds that served both personal fulfillment and imperial social cohesion. The morning consultation involved reviewing the compatibility charts for young Necalli, son of a successful Pochteca merchant family, and Citlali, daughter of a distinguished warrior who had achieved Jaguar rank through exceptional battlefield service. Their potential union required careful analysis of birth dates, family lineages, economic considerations, and religious obligations that would affect both their personal happiness and their family's future prosperity. Necalli was born under the day sign Xipactli during the month dedicated to Tlaloc, while Citlali entered the world on Quetzalcoatl in the season of Huitzilopochtli. Itzel noted while consulting the painted codex that recorded astrological correspondences. The combination suggests compatibility in practical matters, but potential challenges in spiritual alignment that must be addressed through proper ceremonial preparation. Such astrological analysis formed the foundation of successful marriage arrangements. The sacred calendar revealed not just favorable timing for wedding ceremonies, but also the spiritual dynamics that would influence married couples throughout their lives together. Understanding these cosmic influences enabled marriage coordinators to recommend appropriate rituals, ceremonial preparations, and ongoing spiritual practices that would strengthen matrimonial bonds. The family negotiations required delicate diplomatic skill to balance economic interests with personal compatibility, while ensuring that proposed marriages served broader social and political purposes. Marriage alliances could strengthen trade relationships, create military partnerships, enhance religious authority, or consolidate land holdings in ways that benefited entire communities beyond the immediate families involved. The merchant family offers substantial dowry, including 3 canoe loads of cacao beans, 20 pieces of fine cotton cloth, and exclusive trading rights for jade ornaments from their Oaxacan contacts, explained Yaotl, an assistant coordinator who specialized in economic arrangements. However, they expect reciprocal guarantees for military protection of their trading expeditions and support for their petition to establish a new market district. These negotiations demonstrated how marriage arrangements created complex webs of mutual obligation that extended far beyond simple romantic partnerships. Successful unions required balancing personal attraction with family interests, economic benefits with political advantages, immediate gains with long-term relationship sustainability. The spiritual preparation process began months before actual wedding ceremonies and involved both potential spouses in purification rituals, religious instruction, and ceremonial training that prepared them for the sacred responsibilities of married life. This preparation emphasized marriage as divine institution, requiring proper spiritual foundation rather than simply social contract or economic arrangement. Citlali underwent traditional feminine preparation that included instruction in household management, textile production, food preparation, and religious observances appropriate to married women. However, her education also reflected her father's warrior status through additional training in managing military household responsibilities, understanding strategic communications, and participating in ceremonies honoring war deities. The bride's preparation must reflect both her family's warrior traditions and her future role in supporting merchant activities, observed Xochiquetzal, a specialist in feminine ceremonial education. She needs instruction in managing trade goods, entertaining commercial partners, and participating in Poctica religious observances while maintaining appropriate warrior household practices. This comprehensive preparation demonstrated how marriage education adapted to specific family circumstances while maintaining essential spiritual and practical elements that enabled successful married life within Aztec society. Necalli's preparation focused on expanding his merchant training to include warrior household responsibilities, religious leadership duties, and community obligations that marriage would bring. Young men entering marriage needed understanding of family authority, spiritual guidance responsibilities, and economic management that extended beyond their previous roles as sons and brothers. The ceremonial preparations required coordinating multiple religious observances, family celebrations, and community events that transformed individual commitment into public recognition of new social bonds. Wedding ceremonies involved not just the immediate couple, but also extended families, community leaders, religious authorities, and economic partners whose participation validated the marriage alliance. The wedding ceremony will include morning purification rituals at dawn, family blessing ceremonies at midday, religious marriage rites in the temple during afternoon, and community celebration feasting that continues through evening, outlined Milentica, who coordinated ceremonial logistics. Each phase requires specific participants, ceremonial materials, and religious observances that must be properly scheduled and coordinated. Such elaborate ceremonial schedules reflected marriage's importance as social institution that created new family relationships while strengthening existing community bonds. The public nature of wedding celebrations ensured community witness and support for matrimonial commitments, while creating opportunities for broader social interaction and relationship building. The religious ceremonies involved invoking divine blessings on the proposed union, while acknowledging the cosmic forces that would influence married life. Aztec theology recognized marriage as sacred partnership, requiring divine approval and ongoing spiritual maintenance through proper religious observance and ceremonial participation. The temple ceremonies included offerings to Xochiquetzal, goddess of love and fertility, who governed romantic attraction and marital harmony. Additional offerings honored Tonalpohualli, deity of purification and domestic life, who protected households and family relationships. Male deities including Xochiquetzal and Quinteotl received recognition for their roles in masculine fertility and household prosperity. The temple offerings require 4 young turkeys, 20 bundles of copal incense, elaborate flower arrangements featuring marigolds and amaranth, and specially prepared chocolate drinks flavored with honey and vanilla. Detailed Necalli, who managed religious supply procurement. The ceremonial vessels must be blessed by senior priests, and the offerings presented according to precise timing determined by astronomical observations. These religious requirements reflected sophisticated theological understanding of divine forces governing human relationships, while creating opportunities for families to demonstrate their devotion and economic capability through generous ceremonial offerings. The marriage blessing rituals involved binding ceremonies that physically represented the spiritual union being created between 2 individuals. These symbolic actions included cord-tying rituals where the couple's clothing was connected with specially prepared fiber cords, shared consumption of sacred foods that represented their commitment to mutual sustenance, and joint offerings to household deities that would govern their domestic life. The cord-tying ceremony used specially prepared maguey fibers that had been blessed through elaborate purification rituals and dyed with colors representing the couple's birth signs and family affiliations. The binding process involved specific knots and patterns that symbolized different aspects of married life, including economic cooperation, spiritual partnership, mutual protection, and shared responsibility for children and household management. The binding cords must incorporate fibers from maguey plants harvested during favorable moon phases, prepared using traditional spinning techniques, and dyed with pigments extracted from sacred flowers and mineral sources, explained Xochiquetzal, who specialized in ceremonial material preparation. The colors and patterns must reflect astrological compatibility while honoring both families' traditional design elements. Such attention to ceremonial detail reflected belief that proper religious observance enhanced the spiritual effectiveness of marriage ceremonies while creating beautiful symbolic representations of the sacred commitments being undertaken. The feast preparations required coordinating food production, service arrangements, and entertainment that could accommodate hundreds of wedding guests, including family members, community leaders, business associates, and religious authorities. Wedding feasts demonstrated family prosperity while creating opportunities for social interaction and relationship building that strengthened community bonds. The menu featured foods associated with fertility and abundance, including various preparations of maize, beans, squash, chili peppers, chocolate, and exotic fruits obtained through trade networks. Special ceremonial dishes included tamales filled with meat and complex spice mixtures, elaborate turkey preparations featuring precious seasonings, and honey-sweetened beverages that were reserved for important celebrations. The wedding feast requires coordination of 12 cooking teams to prepare food for approximately 400 guests over 2 days of celebration, reported Necalli, who managed feast logistics. We need arrangements for live turkey delivery, special grinding equipment for large quantity chocolate preparation, and additional cooking facilities to supplement the family's normal food preparation capabilities. Such large-scale food service required weeks of advanced planning and coordination with suppliers, equipment providers, and service workers who understood the ceremonial requirements and quality standards appropriate to important social celebrations. The entertainment programming included musicians specializing in wedding music, dancers trained in ceremonial performances associated with marriage themes, and storytellers who recited romantic legends and family histories that connected the new union with broader cultural traditions and mythological frameworks. The musical performances featured instruments associated with love and fertility, including wooden flutes that produced sounds reminiscent of bird calls, ceramic drums decorated with symbols representing domestic harmony, and rattles incorporating seeds that symbolized reproductive abundance. The repertoire included traditional wedding songs, regional musical variations, and compositions specifically commissioned for important family celebrations. The musical program will feature 3 instrumental ensembles performing in succession throughout the celebration, specialized vocalists trained in wedding ceremonial music, and community participation songs that encourage guest involvement in celebrating the new marriage, outlined Xochiquetzal, who coordinated entertainment programming. This musical diversity created varied entertainment experiences while maintaining appropriate ceremonial atmosphere that honored both the religious significance and social importance of marriage celebrations. The gift exchange ceremonies involved elaborate presentations of dowry items, family treasures, and specially commissioned objects that represented each family's contribution to the new household while demonstrating their economic capability and cultural sophistication. These exchanges created formal transfer of property while establishing ongoing economic relationships between allied families. The merchant family's dowry contributions included practical items such as cooking equipment, textile tools, and storage containers needed for household management, but also valuable trade goods including jade jewelry, feathered ornaments, and precious metals that displayed family wealth while providing economic security for the new household. The dowry presentation includes comprehensive household establishment package featuring cooking vessels, food storage systems, textile production equipment, and ceremonial items needed for proper religious observance, plus significant trade goods portfolio that provides economic foundation for independent household management, detailed yautl during the formal gift inventory process. These substantial material contributions reflected families' understanding that successful marriages required adequate economic foundation while creating opportunities for displaying generosity and establishing positive relationships with allied families. The warrior family's reciprocal gifts emphasized military equipment, protective items, and ceremonial objects associated with martial traditions, while also providing practical household items that reflected their understanding of domestic management requirements. Their contributions included specially crafted weapons, protective amulets, and ceremonial costumes appropriate to their social status. The social integration ceremonies helped the newly married couple establish their position within community networks while learning to navigate the complex relationships that marriage created with extended family members, business associates, and social groups that would influence their future life together. These integration activities included formal introduction ceremonies at various community gatherings, participation in neighborhood religious observances, and gradual assumption of adult social responsibilities that marriage brought. The process helped couples transition from their previous roles as dependent children to independent adults with their own household obligations and community standing. The social integration program includes participation in monthly neighborhood council meetings, responsibility for organizing one seasonal community celebration annually, and ongoing involvement in trade association activities that maintain business relationships essential to household prosperity, explained Milintica, who managed community integration programs. Such systematic social integration ensured that newly married couples developed the community relationships and civic understanding necessary for successful adult life, while maintaining connections with their families of origin and their new spouses' social networks. The ongoing marriage support systems included regular counseling services, ceremonial renewal opportunities, and conflict resolution procedures that helped married couples maintain harmonious relationships while adapting to changing life circumstances over time. Marriage was understood as ongoing spiritual and social commitment, requiring continuous attention and periodic renewal through proper religious and social observance. Annual marriage renewal ceremonies provided opportunities for couples to reaffirm their commitments while seeking divine blessings for continued harmony and prosperity. These observances involved simplified versions of original wedding rituals combined with Thanksgiving offerings for divine protection and guidance received during the previous year. The annual renewal ceremonies include joint offerings to household deities, reaffirmation of original marriage vows, and community recognition of successful married life demonstrated through household prosperity, appropriate child rearing, and positive contributions to community welfare, described Tlakalel, who coordinated ongoing marriage support services. These renewal practices reflected understanding that marriage required ongoing spiritual maintenance, while creating regular opportunities for community recognition of successful matrimonial relationships that served as positive examples for younger couples and unmarried community members. The children preparation aspects of marriage included education about parenting responsibilities, child rearing practices, and the spiritual obligations that came with creating new life. Married couples received instruction in religious practices necessary for protecting children, educating them appropriately, and preparing them for their own eventual adult roles within community life. The theological understanding of marriage emphasized spiritual partnership in service to divine purposes rather than simply personal satisfaction or economic convenience. Married couples were expected to create households that honored the gods through proper religious observance, while contributing to community welfare through appropriate social participation and economic productivity. As evening concluded and the final preparations for Necalli and Citlali's wedding ceremony reached completion, Itzel reflected on the profound responsibility that marriage coordination entailed. These ceremonies created new families while strengthening existing social bonds, established economic partnerships while honoring spiritual obligations, and celebrated individual love while serving collective community interests. The sacred matchmakers and marriage coordinators served as essential facilitators of social harmony, whose professional expertise enabled communities to maintain stable family structures while adapting to changing economic, political, and social circumstances. Their work required understanding of religious requirements, family dynamics, economic considerations, and community relationships that influenced successful marriage arrangements. The marriage ceremonies of the Aztec Empire represented sophisticated integration of spiritual devotion, social engineering, and economic planning that created stable family foundations while strengthening community bonds through shared celebration and mutual obligation. These sacred unions served both individual fulfillment and collective social purposes through systematic attention to religious requirements, family interests, and community welfare. Through careful attention to astrological compatibility, ceremonial preparation, religious blessing, and ongoing support, marriage coordinators helped create matrimonial relationships that could withstand the challenges of daily life while contributing to broader social stability and community prosperity. The sacred unions they facilitated became building blocks of imperial society that connected individual happiness with collective welfare through bonds of love, duty, and shared spiritual commitment. The wedding ceremonies themselves would create lasting memories for participants while establishing new households that would contribute to community prosperity through proper religious observance, economic productivity, and social cooperation. The sacred bonds created through marriage extended beyond immediate couples to encompass extended families, business partnerships, and community relationships that strengthened the social fabric of imperial civilization. Marriage in Aztec society represented more than romantic partnership. It created sacred unions that connected individual lives with cosmic purposes while building social bonds that enabled community prosperity through systematic integration of spiritual devotion, economic cooperation, and family commitment in service to both human happiness and divine purposes.